G'day, I'm Guy Allen, and the toy we're playing with today is a very rare German motorcycle, BMW's K1. Way back in 1988, BMW unveiled this thing at the Cologne show. Now you've got to remember at the time BMW had a very conservative touring bike image. So this is what they did. They came up with this bright, garish sports touring motorcycle. So what was underneath it? Well, they threw all their current technology at it. Now that included the paralever rear end from the GS series, the first time this was on a road bike. It also included 4-piston Brembo brakes up front, and of course the anti-lock system, or ABS, that they'd been using for a few years by now. Not only that, but in the engine department they included a 16-valve head for the first time. This is a first for the K series, and they beefed up the frame in a big way. Now all these innovations went across to the rest of the K series eventually, but this was the flagship. It was very special. Like a lot of rave designs, these things had some good and bad about them. The good, very aerodynamic. At the time BMW was sticking to 100 horsepower industry limit for their engines, but they still managed to get a very solid 230 kilometres an hour or better, 240 kilometres an hour out of this motorcycle. Very comfortable sports tourer, not great for throwing luggage on, although the company did sell soft luggage. And what were the downsides? Well, sadly, not much steering lock. It's got the turning circle of the Titanic, believe it or not. It's also pretty heavy. It's about 260 kilos, dripping wet, ready for the road. But as a toy out on the open road, which is really where it belongs, it's great fun. Not so good around town or in tight roads. So, why would you buy one? Well, they are a rarity and they are collectible, particularly if they're the early ones like this in the very garish red and yellow colour scheme, or the alternative blue and yellow. They toned down the styling after a while, particularly those colours, which was a shame because that's what made them distinctive. In 1990, when this bike was sold, it was selling for about $17,500 plus on road costs. So you're talking nearly 19 on the road. A lot of money 22 years ago. They're still a decent ride today. They're not a huge performance bike by any stretch, but they're a surprisingly comfortable long distance mount, and they're very reliable. Look for our feature in Motorcycle Trader magazine, where we put this up against its current stablemate, the 6-cylinder K1600.